working towards women empowerment and good health for all. He is an advisor and networking startups across the country. And hello, sir. It's a great pleasure for us to invite you for this webinar session, Startup Ecosystem Scenario, Challenges and Opportunities. Your wide knowledge and extensive experience on startups would surely be very helpful for our students. We thanks for accepting our invitation for addressing this webinar session. Now, I invite today's resource person, Mr. Rajkishan Ganta, to address the gathering, followed by his informative speech.
Thank you, Varanahal. And it's a Sunday evening. I feel Sunday afternoon. I feel it's really disturbing you people from your holiday thing. But in fact, all of you are here, especially the students. I'm really very happy to see you all because you are the future architects of this country. We have been 1947. We have had independence, but since then we are considered as a developing nation. uh, your your various innovative ideas is going to take this nation into a developed status. So, madam, I think I stopped my video because there's a little bandwidth problem out here. I hope you guys don't mind about it. So let me start this session with a small story. I mean, it's not a story. One of my very good friend mentor used to address this thing whenever we start this session. So it's about three ants. So these three ants were discussing as to what they're going to become in future. So one ant said, I would like to be the richest ant in the world. And the second ant said, I want to be the most educated ant in this world. The third ant was just lazing around and looking around and viewing things when these two ants said, don't you have an ambition? Do you have a target? So then the third ant said, I want to turn into a butterfly and fly away. And that is where a startup is born. A startup is a person. Why I wanted to tell you this story is a startup is not a person who's got a regular mindset or regular sort of a thing. They are totally different and their mindset is different. The challenges, the problems that we see are seen as challenges by them. They devise their own strategies and create an impact to society while giving them a linear advantage over their fellow students or well over their fellow beings. So that this is the basic thing of a startup founder. So now the topic that has been given to me is such a vast and the time given to me is pretty low. Unfortunately, I can't bargain over the time because I am taking away your Sunday. But let's understand the topic in four different ways. The present scenario, especially post-COVID, how things have taken shape. So based on that, we'll divide this topic into four different ways. One is the mindset, about the mindset. Second is the opportunities that are available. Third is the investor's opinion. What does the investor look into a startup? Just we'll have a very, very rough ideology about all these three topics. And the fourth is the case studies. So in these four chapters, the four divisions, let us try to understand a very small thing. And at the end, I will leave my my mail ID, so you could always get across to me for any doubt. So let's now get into the exact mindset of a startup. So most of the why there is a lot of inhibition, why there is a lot of backlash when somebody wants to start an entrepreneurship. I mean the thought itself is some sort of a psychological fear. Psychological fear is what is psychology? I don't want to go deep into it because I'm very poor in it myself. I'm more of a go-to-market personality. So psychology is basically what you think. If you could connect or what you think and the positivity together, then I think you can develop. So on this basis, I just want to give another very small story. Most of my talk would be in stories because the last 11 years, 12 years, I've been interacting with 2000 plus startups across India. I've seen them grow, seen them take iterate on their ideas, take U-turn. So they have succeeded, and they have failed also. So I've seen their journeys thoroughly. So it's basically story time that I'm going to tell you. It's not what lecture or sort of thing. It's sort of a story time. So this is a small story about an elephant. An elephant, a big elephant was just put. There's a small rod planted and a chain to that rod. The passerby, like you and me, was very interested. He said, why is this elephant being chained here? It can easily rescue itself." So then the Mohot, or the guy who sits there, he said, "Listen, when it was a small child, we tied it to a very big pillar. So it tried all its efforts to free itself, but it could not. So it has now come with a psychology that it cannot free himself from the chain. So because of that, even if you put a small stick, it will stay because it's consciously feeling. So this is where the psychology plays. What you think you are. It is not that it is what people will think, or it is what you think of yourself that you make yourself. This is very important aspect. Then the second most important is the fear of failure. The fear of failure, this is a very common phenomenon. Every you think the you are on a spotlight syndrome, the whole world is looking at you, and if you fail, there's going to happen nothing. I really would tell you that today the situation has become so wide. Why is it so amiable today for a startup is basically there's a lot of change in the mindset of parents, mindset of the social society, mindset of the whole government, and the whole atmosphere. There's a lot of vibrancy. People want you to, people will welcome you as a startup. If you look at just there are 216 researchers in India, whereas comparatively it is 1,200 in China. So this itself shows that the researchers or the people who are searching for new ideas, who want to do something new, is vast. And if we could really look into this situation, that means there is a lot of scope for startups to come. Startups to come in the sense, yes, there are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of opportunities that are existent, and if we could look at it, it is a big rather 84 billion US dollar funding is happening in India with just 765 deals. It could be 30% lesser than 2019, but still there's a lot of funding that's coming. But just for funding, don't start a startup. Startup is basically to get your command on a solution of a problem. So these are certain things that need to be understood. And the most important thing is change. Change is inevitable. The only thing that happens is change. So you got to change yourself, adapt yourself to the present scenario. You got to adapt yourself to the present technology and start moving ahead. This would create a lot of impact on yourself and on your startup. So I think you would have understood, you would have realized that Nokia refused Android and Yahoo refused Google. So that was a reason for their failure. Today, Nokia is almost nowhere, and Yahoo is also very negligible presence. On the other hand, if you look at uh, Facebook joined WhatsApp, and how vibrant it has become. The entire gamut of services have increased. The number of subscribers have increased. Flipkart has joined with Jabang, and these things are all most very important aspects in the history of innovation and technology, because these show how far we have moved in our value chain. That is that very situation is very important. So basically, in a nutshell, let us understand what startup is. Startup is passion to do what you dream better, passion to do what you dream better, and patience to do it and again to get the best. So you need these two words, passion and patience. They are really crux of the startup ecosystem. So that is very important that we understand. Now, once you know that, okay, now you have an idea, you have something, you want to do something, you have an inclination, you might be an ideapreneur or a wannapreneur. So you either want to do something or you have an idea. So at that position juncture, how do we go about? So this is another important aspect which we discuss at Vision Talks. Through Vision Talks, we talk with various colleges and we discuss. Then there are three aspects. That is, one is explore, empower, and enterprise. So the first thing explore is validate your idea. Try to get into different forums. Try to get into different things. Meet different people. Do consolidated analysis of your idea. Validate the idea at all sides. See, you ever get into a product before validating your idea. Before making a black and white statement of your idea, never ever get into a product. So make a black and white statement. Try to discuss with people. Many people say, if I discuss, then I might lose the rights over it. Well, an idea is not great if it's not followed by a greater implementation or execution technology. So the execution plays a very, very vital role in making your idea dream big. So this is one point that you need to understand. So exploring plays a very vital part in consolidating your idea into a product or service. Whether it's a product or service, it consolidates yourself. So that is the first thing. The second thing is empower yourself. Not all founders in the world have done know what they are doing. The entire product which they have done is not their cup of tea. I mean, in the sense, if you remember, Steve Jobs would not have coded at all. So, or rather, Bill would not have done something what he has. We need to understand that these things, not everything is done by everybody. So you need a team. So how do you classify the team? So that there you do the dating. It's called co-founder dating. You need to understand what are the different aspects of this. I think there is an echo that's coming up. Is it? Are you people hearing some echo?
Yes, sir.
Bal,
Yes, sir. Just now.
Bal shoot, sir.
Is there an echo that's coming, ma'am?
Now it is not coming, sir.
Yes,
Now it
sir.
is
Yes,
not
sir.
coming.
Okay.
Please.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. I'm sorry, ma'am, because I myself found it disturbing, so I thought
Okay.
I just wanted to inquire about that. So
Okay.
this
Yes, sir. We also
explore.
pay.
Yeah, can I continue?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
So this empire exploring is very, very important aspect of every founder's journey. You need to explore your idea. You need to understand what is your target audience, what is the expectation of your target audience. That is, what is your customer's expertise. I mean, what is their expectation? Unless you evaluate this, unless you validate this, to move further is a little risky. So from there, you take it on to the empowerment. As I said, empowerment is not that you know everything, you do everything, you have got everything in order, and everything is under your control. No, it is really not, because a startup has a variety of things that have to be done. It could be the technical coding, or it could be the marketing part, or it could be the administrative part. There are a lot of things that should happen. So you need to have the right team. So I call it the right. You need to do co-founder dating to get the right team on board, get the right mentor on board. The mentor is one person who knows not. There was another day the college professor said, so sir, the 90% of the startups are failure. I just asked them, 90% of startups are failure. How many people have opted for a mentor? Oh, no, we don't have an analysis for that. Yes, it is true. Because unless you opt for a mentor, the mentor is a third person who gives you a third angle of your problem. So you need the right mentor to understand, and not the mentor who will agree to whatever you say, but a mentor who will argue with you and try to knock sense into you so that you be on the same page to take it forward. So the empowerment is the second most important thing. You have the perfect co-founders, you have the perfect team. I was discussing this point with Cynthia Helens of US. She has a social foundation organization. So I said, how do you have a lot of people across the world, you have a lot of associates. So she said, Raj, the basic thing is I identify the strength of each associate I have, and I only bestow them with the responsibilities that they are capable of, because that takes away a lot of pressure out of me. Second thing is the whole exercise becomes so robust that we get things done before time. So this is very important aspect as for you to understand, that as you move forward you need people, but you need to understand their strengths also. While you understand the strengths of your product, similarly you need to understand the strength of your team. The team plays a vital role. A team that plays that vision envisions the same mission always succeeds. So you need, as a founder, it is the duty of every founder to inculcate the vision and mission of that company into every individual of that company, so that becomes a robustic system. So this is one thing. Then of course the mentor aspect I said. So we have seen how exploring an idea, how to empower an idea. Now the enterprise part is a very interesting part, where the government compliances come, and your IT, what is the IT infrastructure that you need, the IP, intellectual property rights that have to happen, and the company. Find out the right consultants and right people to do. But right now you got a wonderful time, because as I told you, it gets you into your into the right side, into the right mode, because government is ready to help you in all ways, and you have got really wonderful things to do with that. So with this, there's a lot of spirit of innovation around, because of the various policies. Your own teachers like Jayanti madam and these people, they've been so encouraging. In fact, the morning when I spoke to Jayanti madam, there's a lot of vibrations which I felt, that see, they are so much obstinate in seeing you through, becoming a startup, becoming a fun, becoming an ideator, becoming an innovative person, because they understand your caliber and you need to take the next step, because your next step is going to yield a lot of fortunes to the entire country. So this is one thing that I'd like to say. And my fear of failure is a very good object which I always talk to startup founders. I say there is nothing called failure in startups. You agree with me? Maybe most of you might not, but in fact, nothing is called a failure, because the reason is every failure is a lesson. You learn it. You either learn or you succeed. There is only two ways at the end of a startup. One is you succeed or you learn. So it is always learning experience. Of course, most of you might say, "Sir, we have spent so much money, so much time. Is it just learning?" No. This is what I said. You need to explore your idea. You need to empower your idea. You need to go to the enterprising your idea. Then 100% there is no looking back. So if you follow the exact guidelines, exact steps, step by step, if you follow, you are going to reach the target. Now let's look at the various opportunities that are there. Yes, there is huge opportunities in various sectors, especially the agricultural sector. There's a lot of opportunity in the agriculture sector, and let's discuss it on a step by step. Now we are looking at the opportunities that are available. One is in the agricultural sector. Then we have in the artificial intelligence and aviation sector, because artificial intelligence in aviation are now almost becoming similar lines. In fact, they're becoming what do you say, co-sisters or co-builders, because there's a lot of interconnection between them, and with IoT in play, there's a lot of things that are happening. Then we have the health sector, which needs a vibrant change, and of course the ever-growing automobile sector. If you look at automobile sector, there's an ever-growing demand, and today we are just at par with the nations across. And if we could foresee where we are going to be and understand what are the paradigms in the automobile sector, then it's going to give a little, real advantage. The education sector is another domain that is really getting wrapped up. If you look at during the start of the COVID, it was all thought process that the whole system is collapsed. There's nothing to learn, nothing to go ahead. Now with the virtual platforms and all those things, almost all schools, irrespective, from the government school to the highest international schools. All of them right now are online, and they're keeping in touch with students. See, today on Sunday, I don't know where you guys are all of you are from different places. I'm from a different place, but still we are able to interact with each other so fully and get the best out of it, which really means that the virtual platform has gained its importance, and that's a very vital point. So the education has been very important, and these five sectors have got wonderful potential. Let us understand how the potentials are working out. So before we get into a startup, before we get into certain things, let us understand two most important things: design strategy, keeping in the mind of your user. Whatever strategy, product or service that you design, try to make it simplified. Don't make it too complicated for the end user to use it. That because once you need to have people to use your product or service, otherwise there is no big point in creating the world's best product or the world's best service. You need the so keep that in the mind and try to understand why they should buy your service or product. So why should, from the consumer's point of view, why should I buy this product or service? How should I make it so entertaining or so much easy, customize it for the need of the consumer? Understand the pain point of the consumer, understand the pain point of the consumer, and try to highlight it and understand the reasons why she should buy it. It should be the technology must be very simple for utility. See, second thing, it should address the pain point, and it should give a solution for the pain point. Third, it must be economical. So these three things, if you take out, you try to understand, then it is easy to do it. So the second thing is, as I told you, there's a backlash of our neighboring state, neighboring country. So this is a right time to go ahead. All these things are very easy. Startup ecosystem is one thing. See, now I'll just tell you, you're in a college. I keep telling people that every engineering college is an R&D institute of its own. So the faculty are not faculty; they are the bridges that join your dream, and they are the bridges that are between your dream and achievement. So through them, your dream gets achieved. So the faculty, you need to give a big word to the faculty, because they are the people who are going to do it. And if they have got the real inclination, you can do it. So every engineering college is on its own. So but startup, see, when you're in a college, you can't jump from an IT class to a CSE class or a CSE to mechanical engineering, something like that. You can't jump classes. Startup in domain is like this, where you have an agnostic domain. I mean, you could be something. You could be an electronic engineer or something. You could design something and be something else. See, most of the health equipment are designed by engineers, so almost they're like doctors, is it not? So the doctor finds the readings of the engineer who has designed a certain thing, and based on those readings, he treats the payment. So the startup domain is one thing where agnostic technologies can get into. It's a poly science. You can mix the science and get the best output. And yeah, so the most important thing, network and vision. Evaluate what can be done better. Yes, find out, as I told you, finding out the best what people can do is very important. Now let's look at the five domains that I feel which will be really playing a very predominant role in the coming future in our country. One is agriculture. Agriculture, you know, there's a lot of people saying, a lot of deaths, a lot of things, farmers suicide, a lot of things. Those are the negative points. Let's get into the positive side. India is an agrarian economy. Right from Indus Valley civilization till date, we have been surviving on agriculture. So if we could modernize agriculture, there are a lot of items. The agricultural things are divided into two parts. One is you common economy. That is common economy. You create drones. You create big say agricultural items which aid the farmer in doing it, and then you lease it out, rent it out to them. So that is one sort of an project. Another project is recreating the equipment that are required to grow more food, and the equipment that is required to monitor the growth of the food. That is in the sense to monitor the purity of the food that the product that comes out. So through IoT right now, a lot of things are happening. So this we need to understand the we need to join up. all these technologies. Then there is waste food conversion. We need to how to waste food. Nearly, you won't believe, there is nearly 35 to 39% of food that is being wasted. If you look at the mandis and all those places, the markets, you can see tomatoes and all other vegetables being dumped, and they've been I mean, there are a lot of usage that's required. At one point of time, we buy certain vegetables or certain food material at one rate, and at other time it is very low and they start dumping it on the roads. So if we could match these waste food, if we could convert this waste food into utility food, I think there's going to be a lot of change, lot of thing that could happen, lot of good things that could happen. Because 58% of rural households depend on agriculture. So if we could make their lives better, then, and we are the second largest agricultural bank, land bank that we have got. So if we could using IoT, using electricity, electrical vehicles, EV, combining them, drones, aviation, robotics, combining all these technologies, we could do something. See, what you could do is the challenges that you could see around. So depending, making the farm more tech driven farms. So if the farm mechanization is being done, I think there's going to be a lot of productivity issue in this, and increasing the farm size versus productivity. Yes, this is also very important. See, we are used to 1 acre yields this much. This is a fixed ratio. If we could, without the use of pesticides or fertilizers, and with the use of a very modern techniques, if we could do it. So what are the techniques that you need to understand? So I'm just telling you the foray that is available in this. So then, yeah, so the renting expensive equipment, like farming as a service, FAS model, SaaS model. So these things, if you could try out your hands on that, um, data analytics, market data analytics, like finding out how to do it, advising the farmer of the right crop. See, data analytics may paves a lot of things, and a lot of thing, lot of insights that you get. You understand why your customer is been coming to you often, or what your customer needs are. And similarly, in these data analytics, if we could use it towards the weather conditions, towards the various ups and downs out here, if it could help the farmers in taking care, then it'd be really great in doing it. So then, okay, so that is about agriculture. Now let's get into the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, real great thing that's happening right now, from housemaids to whatever you say, the consumer package device, the goods, anticipatory demands, technology, predictive primary devices, controlling secondary device with the help of IoTs. So lot of activity that is happening, and these things play. These things give leverage and show that there's a wide opportunity in various sectors, even army, defense. You can understand so many soldiers are dying. Now they're creating robots. Those robots can go to any distance, and they're instructed, and at sometimes they've also understood. The robots are getting into the supercomputer stage, the super robo stage, where they have individual thought process also. So the people are developing all these things to do it. And this again is a very vital area where you are going to make a great entry into it. And now let's look at the third part. The third part is the automotive structure. Automotive, there's very huge demand for technology, for innovations. There's a very huge demand that is required. Like, and now we are getting remote cars, integrating artificial intelligence coupled with automobile. See, emotional artificial intelligence, infotainment system. That is, you get into a car, you get into an Ola car. It says, "Hi, Sri Lakshmi, how are you? Let me play your good music." Or, "Sujan Reddy, you love Ilayaraja songs. Let me play it for you." So these things, they've infused automobile and artificial intelligence to give you a better experience on it. So, and fintech also, a lot of artificial intelligence has come in. So deployment of cognitive computing products to improve services, surveillance, prevent employee misconduct. Lot of things are happening, especially now after the the advancement of artificial intelligence, which is increasing on a day by day. Then we have the health sector. Health, COVID has changed the way we look at personal care. So there is a lot of demand in that. COVID has made us understand that we need to rethink our strategies and do the best. So there are a lot of point of care devices for diagnosis of monitoring. They are very proactive. So there is one company in Bangalore called iRobo. So normally an iRobo is they visualize your eyes. So through the eyes, they will tell you what is the whether there's a cataract or not, what is the power that you need. But this iRobo has gone a step ahead. It could tell you that this is when you're going to get sugar. This is when your sugar levels are going to happen. This is when you might get heart problems. So it devises. This becomes when a problem is devised very much before its occurrence. Then what happens is then you become proactive and take things to the next level. So that they're doing tailoring healthcare as per individual patient's health. Yes. Now what happens right now till date? If you have a headache, they suggest you take a tablet. If you have a cough, they suggest that you take a tablet. So it has come to a position where when you for intricate for diseases that really require a lot of care, now they have devised customized medicine as per your genes, your DNA, so that the medicine becomes effective. And the ill effects of medicine also comes down, because when you take medicine at random, when you take for complicated disease, you take medicine at random, what happens is there is a lot of other implications that happen. There are a lot of other things that are happening. So instead, if it is they're tailor made, then the dosage is also simple, and the unwanted things also don't get into your body system. Then of course telehealth, value based care models. Doctors in metros are getting connected to tier 3, tier 4 cities thanks to great platforms that have come up. um, Digital transformation, realization of full potential of digital transformation has happened. There's wearable technology that monitors. Even in you, they nowadays they have developed a wearable technology where you wear the device on yourself and you go around wherever you are, but you are connected to your specialist doctor who monitors your health. And if there is something alarming, at least the first aid you could do deliver it through telemedicine. So all these things, remote monitoring, virtual consultation, everything for that matter, everything is being taken care by thing. And for every problem which turns into a challenge, and there is a solution required. Right now there are solutions, but maybe you could improvise or give better solutions. That is what India is expecting out of you. In fact, you people should really come up with a lot of innovative solutions to get the country rolling. So then we have a very vast issue with the electrical vehicles. And see, electrical mobility is come out with by 2030. I think our vehicles that we are using should go to the museum, because most of the electrical vehicles are coming up. So what are the three biggest problems in electrical vehicle is one is the costing. The costing is a very big problem that's coming up. 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh, government subsidy, all that. So you could innovate yourself, get design a electrical bike which is low costing. Second most important is the charging, the battery. The batteries, yes, grid to vehicle or vehicle to grid models. Right now the battery models, these are the battery models. Try, or maybe you guys are geniuses. You guys have got wonderful exposure. You got wonderful faculty. Design something that where the battery becomes smaller and yields larger mileage. So that is then the charging infrastructure. We need a lot of charging infrastructures also. So then the most important why electrical vehicles is not clicking, as we were analyzing the other day, trying to understand. The most important is the sound. See, most of the youth are using two-wheelers, and for them the sound is a fancy. So this, without electrical vehicle, moves so smoothly that there's no sound at all. And that is also a negative point. That for some it is a positive point, because there's no sound pollution. But for the youngsters, it's like, you guys, you need that sound. So maybe you could design something. There are some people, some bikes that have come with the sound. You could tune your vehicle with your using your Android mobile, but still there could be something else could be done. If there is something, you could always easily pro, because today there is a lot of challenges. People ask me, sir, can you suggest me where I can find problems? Hey, I tell them your everyday newspaper is a worm can of problems, because if you look at the newspaper, you will understand that there are a lot of issues that are there. Just taking them as a problem is going to leave you as a mere spectator. But if you're going to consider them as a challenge, then you are going to be a startup founder. So you would like to be a startup founder, is it not? Yes, I know you guys would always. When I say guys, I'm not gender biased. It's just a general colloquial term I'm using. So you are all very, very, very innovative, and I know you would like to take it to the next level. So now let's get into the next sector, which has a real good demand, that is education. 30% increase in time spent on education apps on smartphones. This is what Bark India has said. The last COVID has seen the real utility of education, especially education, really has taken a wonderful shape using the virtual mediums. Either Google Meet or Zoom, they've done tremendous jobs, and thanks to all of them, because there is a student teacher connect. Initially, we were having 20 students, one teacher. This was 20 is to 1 or 25 is to 1 in most of the international schools. Now it is 1 to 1. Every student is connected to every student, every teacher, because of thanks to the virtual media. So there's a lot of things that can be done. The education apps, easy tech adopted tools for education institutes. You can design. There are certain tools that are easy for educational institutes exclusively, but you could finalize, fine tune them, or give your own solution to it. Upskilling and reskilling platforms. Yes, what happens? A teacher, especially I'm mentoring a company called Green Pen in Chennai. So here, what happens is, see, there is a school. That school has a wonderful teacher, say X and Y is a very, very good teacher. For the last 20, 25 years, she has been there. When she retires or when she leaves the place or something, there is a big void in that subject, because the teacher who was there had explained the students so well. So we were asking the education institute, so how have you recorded her, whatever she has done? They said nothing. We don't have any records. So that's a big pitfall. See, could some other teacher could come and take that same subject, but the subject that X had taken, the way she had taken was different. So you need to have the recordings of what she has done, how she has done. On a normal live real classroom, the recording could not be done. That's what I said. But it's wrong. We need to provide a solution where all the teachers record whatever they say and the student feedback. So at later point of time, whenever we would like to have, see, the more the teachers teaching subject over a period of around 30, 35 years, the more the problems come, more the solutions that come. And for a single problem, multiple solution might come. All these things they're recorded, then the school management would never, ever have a feeling that this teacher has gone and there is a drop in the education level, because they could always revise the syllabus. So you need to have a platform for upskilling and reskilling, and of course remote learning. Good education versus good student. A real good teacher, he could now deal. He was not restricted to his classroom, not only 20 people, 50 people. Now 5,000 people across the world he can deliver the lecture. So you and the student, similarly the student can get access to various teachers delivering the same lecture and find his own way out. So all these things and more make there's a lot of robust that is required, sort of platforms or rather a lot of technology software that is required in this. So that is this is the one. These are certain things which I like to tell you. This is the various sort of things that are there. So we have covered the agriculture, artificial intelligence, health, automobile, and education. These are very, very, very important. Now let's see how COVID has taken a toll on various activities. So I will talk to you about one of the company in which I am a director, that is Speed Force. Speed Force is a multi-brand two-wheeler service stations, and we were basically into developing franchise network. This was an unorganized sector that we were trying to make it very organized. So how did we make it organized? Was we made everything, every process. Yes, two-wheeler comes to our workshop, then what is the first thing that has to be done? What is the second thing that has to be done? What is the third thing that has to be done? All these things we have made it into a standard operation procedures. Everything has got a standard operation procedure. So thereby what happens, the number of vehicles that can be done at in a given day by a mechanic increases because there is a systematic follow-up. So we converted the unorganized sector using technology, making it more robust, and we have made it more organized. So converting the unorganized into an organized structure was the basic output of Speed Force. So Speed Force started out in 2007-11. We were ideating. 2017 we formed, and then of course we were starting into franchise system. If you remember, March 19, 2020 was the fateful March 22nd was the fateful day for India when there was Janta curfew imposed, and 24th 2020 March 24th 2020 the lockdown happened. So this was a and we opened our first branch in South India at Hyderabad on March 19, 2020. Immediately after opening 2 days, we had the Janata curfew, and then we had the lockdown, and all of us were sitting dumb. We didn't know what to do. We were all in perplexed situation. What has to be done? Then it was we decided combinedly that we are going to make this happen, make the company survive, make the company take the next leap, because we are not people to sit down and relax and think that nothing can happen, this is fate or all these things. Yes, even we fought against COVID. Two of our directors were affected with COVID also, yet we fought against it. In the business friends, we started making virtual meetings. We started doing rigorous activity virtually, promoting our company through Facebook, asking people to understand what Speed Force, to join us on a meeting. Just like these virtual meetings, we have organized hundreds of meetings, 7 directors, all of us. We organized hundreds of meetings, met different people. You won't believe, we started COVID March 19th with our 49th branch, and today we have got 120 branches. COVID was a blessing in disguise because we could reinvent ourselves. We did a lot of virtual conferencing. We understood data analytics. We started geolocation based analytics and finding out how the things start working. What happened is, whenever there is a stress and strain, we try to emulate. We try to emulate what we try to emulate and give the best. So this is what had happened. We try to understand. Now, earlier we used to visit a place, we used to understand the place, look into the surroundings and all those things. We stopped that. We started meeting people virtually. We started looking at their sites also on a video call, and then we started data analytics, understanding the weather, understanding the roads and buildings structure out there, so that depending on the weather and the roads and building, that the road structures out there, we could assess what would be the repairs that would come there. And depending on the status of the place, if it's a tier 2, tier 3 city, then we understand what is the economic situation. So what are the other mechanics charging? Based on that, we could come across the tariff for our new franchise. All these things we started sitting, because earlier we used to get on the road, get things done, but then we now took a back seat and we started doing this. This became so successful that today we have got 120 branches till date. We have opened yesterday at Salem. I was there at Salem, and right now, for your sake, I'm just talking to you. So we opened at Salem, and we have got almost another 15 outlets that are going to come up by April end. So that takes us to the 150 landmark almost. And with this, not only in India, we are spreading our wings across the world. So what I wanted to tell you is, it is how you have to adapt yourself to the change. As I earlier said, change is inevitable and you need to adapt yourself to the change. So this is about Speed Force. Now let's look at a second case study during COVID, how things have happened. So this is about a company called Tracky. Have you ever heard about a word called Tracky? Yeah, Tracky is one company that that had all the great things, like you have innovation, wonderful founders, thought process. They had various software products, all these things. But COVID had seen that nothing is going to work. But they are not people. The three founders, Vijay Lamnani, Shikhar, and Shivang are not like people who are going to get stuck to their COVID is not going to threaten them and make them sit to their desk. They thought differently. Then they made a platform called Tracky. Tracky tracks all the beauty parlors and salons, so beauty salons, grooming institutes, everything. So they started out in Baroda and now they've stretched to Gujarat. They're soon going to come around to all over India. So what they did, they started tracking every grooming institute, trying to analyze, telling them how to be COVID complacent. So what are the things they need to take, and they started enrolling them and started promoting their Tracky, which is a mobile app. Through the mobile app, you can book a salon near you, which is COVID complacent and which has all the necessary safety precautions, and also you could judge which is offering what. So what happens the moment you look into your geolocation? Say there are about three parlors that are grooming your hair. You could just look who's giving the best rate and who's giving you the best time. So if they say 10:30, you need not go there at 10:30 and wait for 1 hour. No, at 10:30 when you go, within 5 minutes you are there on the chair. You get your crop or you get your things done, and then you are out once your things are over. So this means less waiting time, getting the best advantage, understanding the best center that is near you. So Tracky started flourishing so well that in the first 400, first 100 days, they reached around 400 personality, I mean 400 inquiries every day. Then now, oh yeah, so that is one thing. That is another very encouraging aspect. And the last of my case study is Lerenta. Larenta is another company that has been mentored by me. It is a cold pressed juice company. They are marketing cold pressed juices and they've been ideating since 2020 or 19. In fact, 19 they've been ideating. The founder is Mr. Naresh, and they have been looking at various aspects of cold pressed juice because when you put juice, I mean, fruit into a mixie, there are a lot of vitamins, minerals, or rather certain things that are getting eliminated because of the heat. So they wanted to do cold pressed juices. So this has happened in 19. So Lerenta, the means lipids of energy and rejuvenation of all nutritious and tasty antioxidants. So this is the name Leranta was. So Lerenta was just was trying to, they've established an Anantapur, and from there they moved down to Hyderabad. They were just getting around all these things. They wanted to put the juices for the people. But fortunately for them, COVID had come. I mean, when you offer cold pressed juice at around 75, 80 rupees or 90 rupees, and your roadside juice, which is around 30, 35 rupees, then there won't be more takers at all because very few affluent classes there in India where people would like to go in for a sophisticated place. There are a lot of middle class people like you and me who would like to quench their thirst at any kiosk. So this is where it had come, and COVID was a blessing in disguise. When where immunity boosters, energy boosters, fresh juices. There's a lot of talk about this. Even a layman knew. I remember a Nimbu Wala putting top immunity booster is being sold by me. Yes, it is true. Lime has got wonderful immunity booster. So this the word of immunity boosters, the word called sanitizer, the word called masking, the word called social distancing, everything became a common term among the public. This made Lerenta take to the next level. Why next level was Lerenta was really we were stuck at one point or the other. COVID, we could not go around. But because of this COVID, also there is a plus point that we could sit down and understand, analyze the situation. Then right now we have developed various models. Apart from franchising the entire unit, we have developed SIS model, a shop in store in shop, store in store model. That is, there's a big complex you can have a store. Then because of SIS model, now we have developed a cloud kitchen. Because of cloud kitchen, we started finding farmers. The basic idea of Larenta was not just supplying juices to the public, healthy juices to the public. Our basic idea was to encourage farmers to produce more, so we could buy at the farming end and give it to the farm to table model. We wanted to give it and give the best to the thing. Then during COVID, we started working on the subscription model. How we could do? We have got 30 juices. So you take a subscription from us. Every day a juice would be delivered at your place, and all of them are cold pressed, no sugar, no water added, everything in health and hygienic condition. Then now we are making a turnaround. We have got real good inquiries for franchisees and for subscription model. Now big corporates are also approaching us for the sys model. So things happen. It is not why. What I would like to tell you is, just don't get stuck up with your thought process. Just go around, meet people, try to understand what is the thing that's happening. So if at all you could change yourself, you could adapt yourself to the various happenings across, then I think you're going to be successful. So as I told you, have the two P's in you: passion and patience, and you're going to reap the best. And the only thing that you need to do is you plan yourself, check your viabilities, focus on the results. Result oriented focus is very much needed, and you are going to succeed with that result oriented process. And now let's understand just a rough foray of what the investor psychology is. So this is a very important aspect. So they've given around 4 points that you need to understand. Most of the investors are looking at, who am I, who is the founder, what is this technical expertise, and how far is technical expertise has been involved in ideating. So this is one point. Second is, where is this company planning to go? So what is their future? So it is just not enough that you create a product or service. You need to forecast your future, how your future is going to be, how you're going to iterate, how you're going to take your company to the next level, how your POC is going to get into the market, how the market validation is going to happen, how what are the GTM strategies, go to market strategies that you're going to design. Is it the product market fit? Have you assessed the product market fit? All these things they want to know. So next is, what do they need? So what is the capacity? What is the capital that you need? Now you have bootstrapped your venture, taken it to the next level. Now you need to understand, the investor need to understand how much you need. For that, what is the equity you will be giving them, and what is the exit policy? How are they going to exit? See, nobody is going to do a donation to you. They're going to invest in you to understand how you're going to grow and how you're going to give them returns on their investment. So you got to be very well thorough with all these things. What are the market precedents? So who are your competitors? What is the SWOT analysis that you're looking at? They are, especially the investors are really have got a shrewd eye. And post COVID, there's a lot of caution that has been. Earlier just the war factor was enough, but today figures do speak. Today investors want figures, so they're looking for businesses with strong fundamentals and long-term visions. It's not that next year I will reach here, next 6 months I will reach. They want a long-term innings. It's not that you have started something, you need some funds, and then you want to sell it, sell your company and go. They're not looking at people of that sort. They're looking for long-time players. Please keep that in mind. They are looking at long-time players. They want you to calculate your path to profitability and unit economics. So on a day-to-day basis, everything has to be calculated, so that you need to reach where you are and where you want to be. So this forecast will help the investor understand the mindset of the founders and their team and what their vision is. So the vision, this plays a very vital role in providing investments to you. So I think I'm done with all the four, the mindset, the opportunities, the investors, and the case studies. We have done with it. Now I think maybe the order would have been a little up and down. I'm sorry, but whatever best that can be done by my side, I've done it. So the last thing which I would like to tell you is, remember, success is not permanent and failure is not final. Wishing you all a successful startup year 2021. This year must see that you people really come up with very good startups and take the country to the next level. Thank you, the entire college staff and madam. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
So I've left my mail ID. In case you have any doubts, you can always get across to me. Thank you and bye.
Sir, actually, it's really a wonderful session in this evening. Echo is coming, right?
Absolutely, ma'am.
Is Sangeeta, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Balashur sir. Balashur sir is giving vote of thanks, ma'am.
No, actually, turn off your microphone. Okay. Sir, is it okay now? Yeah, I
Yeah,
hope it is.
absolutely fine, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, this session is a wonderful session in this evening time, and you are taught that is particularly the challenges and your success stories. Uh, Really, that might have made a spark in our students' mind, and that will ignite them to become a successful entrepreneur and boost up their self confidence whenever they come across tough times in their life. So, thank you very much, sir, for accepting this, for your kind acceptance for delivering this your informative talk in our webinar session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
sir. Okay, sir. And Balshud, sir,
Madam,
uh, you just please deliver vote of thanks to sir.
okay, madam.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Balashudu, and I am here to present a vote of thanks for today's webinar. I would like to thank our webinar speaker, Mr. Rajkishan Garu, for delivering his valuable speech. All right. One more thing. It is okay. Sir has delivered so many concepts. Right. Okay. I will tell some points. Okay. This is the main topic is a startup ecosystem scenario, challenges and case studies. Okay. Sir has given so many examples. It gave deep insights into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. The point where Mr. Ganta Rajkishan Sar Garu told us about 5 points mainly. Means if you want to develop a company, new company with new ideas, right? Sir has delivered 5 areas, trust areas. One is the agriculture area. Okay, in agriculture area, so many areas are there, like IoT and data analytics. Right, if you want to design or develop drones or all those things, okay, we can develop. We have to come up with new ideas. If the if students are really have the good stuff, okay, definitely we can come up with the good ideas and good solutions. And the second areas are told that is the artificial intelligence, and sir has given so many examples. Okay, I no need to explain all the things. And one more thing, in artificial intelligence, primary devices and so many things sir have explained. And one more area, that is automotive. Okay, so automobile structure area, remote parts and emotional artificial intelligence, and so many things, sir have explained. And the fourth point is the health sector. Okay, sir has given some examples of COVID and in diagnosis. Okay, means how to develop the design processes and how to implement our ideas, and so many things, remote monitoring and so many things are told. And the fifth point is electrical. The fifth point is education also nowadays, so all the people aware of what is online in education system. Okay, Google, all the people aware of Google, what is Google Meet, from children's to elders. Okay, all the people are using Google Meet and Zoom and so many things. Okay, sir have explained. And one more case studies also sir has sir have taken some case studies, like one is COVID and Traki and Lorento. Okay, what some sir has come up with some solutions, and sir has means sir and team have developed some companies with startup ideas. And sir has told, if the students or anyone is having the passion and patience, okay, definitely they will become a good entrepreneur. Okay, sir have told so many things. And one more thing, we have to think towards result oriented processes. Okay, definitely we will get success in every aspect. Okay, just we have to okay, think the problems, okay, where the problems are involved. Sir, it is a very informative session. Uh, right, it was a really informative session, sir. One more thing, I am pretty sure the precious knowledge that Mr. Rajkishan Garu gave us will definitely help us in studies and future also. And once again, I would like to thank Mr. Rajkishan Garu for taking out the time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. And thank you so much, sir. I would also thank you. I would also like to thank our principal, sir, yes, Srinath Reddy Garu, for giving permission to organizing this type of webinar. And in future also, we will expect more webinars for right. We have to take the permission from sir and inviting industrial personality like you, Rajkishan Garu, to conduct it. And one more thing, I want to thank co-coordinator, Mrs. C. Sangeeta Madam, and mentors of the second year, third year, and fourth year, and other faculty, and work hard, to make this event successful. And also, thank you to all the students, those who are present here, for paying your attention and learning. I would speech here. Thank you, one and all. And once again, I thank you, webinar speaker, Ganta, Rajkishan Garu. Sir, some more questions from sir. Rajkishan sir.
Sir, I think sir has left from the meeting.
Okay, madam.
Just now he left from the meeting.
Okay, madam.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Okay. Just dissolve the meeting.
Right.